Thank you, David. First of all, what we'd like to do is to make this somewhat interactive. And so anyone that's got a question, attract one of our people here. I'll walk over there because we want to chase your directions. What I'm going to share with you is the philosophy of how we got to this particular session. I'm a huge fan of the EPL. And so I track teams in the EPL. And a while ago, I was looking at this Swansea City team coached by Brendan Rodgers, the guy that ended up at Liverpool that was obviously fired. But the thing I loved about watching him at Swansea is with a roster that didn't have much of a financial investment in it, the way they were able to possess the ball was absolutely extraordinary. And obviously the team that almost won the EPL at Liverpool with Suarez, I thought he was doing a fantastic job. And I heard rumors about what his philosophy was in practice. He called it like 10,000 passes. So what he was trying to design in his training environments were situations where there were a maximum number of passes. Because if you want to develop elite players, and certainly at that level they have elite players, but if you want to play a style where you're trying to keep the ball to a maximum extent, this is something you want to try to interject into your training platforms. Now, we have a philosophy on how we want to play the game. And if I want to take the game that sort of exemplifies the style I would like to emulate the most, I love the championship final in the Champions League between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich, two German teams, obviously, that went on to play the final. They beat the Spanish giants en route to that final. And what I loved about watching those teams play is they played an incredibly aggressive pressing game. They also played a game with unbelievable speed of play, and it looked like the whole game for 90 minutes was played at this amazing sprint. So this is the image I have in my mind of where I would love to take my team, obviously with our limitations. And so that's the style I'm trying to emulate. Those of you that understand our philosophy at North Carolina and those of you that have seen us play will appreciate why I'm starting this session with the 4v1. This is the environment we teach closing and tackling in. Now, obviously, if you're teaching closing and tackling, you're also teaching possession. And what we've got up here is my managerial core with me. And what was cool yesterday is we had a session yesterday when we were teaching the principles of our competitive cauldron. And even though I think there are some phenomenal coaches out there that are very effective coaching with the force of their own personality, I've recruited another element to help drive performance in my training environments, and that element is the cauldron. My philosophy at North Carolina, certainly forever, and also when I was coaching the U.S. women's national team, was to try to make everything in practice about winning and losing. I wanted to put pressure on every single player in every minute of every practice to try to develop a psychological hardness by having to fight to win. We would collect the data, we would post it on a bulletin board, and it didn't matter what the environment was, there would be an opportunity for you to look on the bulletin board the next day and see where you ranked. And obviously a lot of this data we're accumulating through the season. The stuff you're going to see right now is a part of that stuff. Those of you that want a more detailed look on how we're collecting the data, because a lot of people seem to struggle with how we collect it, how we organize it, how we collate it, and then how we post it, I welcome a couple coaches to come out. You can stand next to any of my managers in blue and see how they're going to basically assemble the data, and you're going to see how we share it. So let me start with the session we're going to begin with here. We have set up these grids, and I want to give credit where credit's due. All of us steal from other coaches. I stole this from a former great player of mine by the name of Cindy Parlow. She stepped in and worked with my team and did an incredible job. In 2012, in fact, that Tar Heel team won the national championship, and I attribute a lot of our success to Cindy Parlow and her husband, John Cohn. She came in, and this is one of the platforms that she used. I liked it so much, we now use this platform to teach closing and biting, closing and tackling. So what we'll do is we'll set up with this group over here. If you notice, each of these grids actually has a different size. This division right here is what I'm going to call the first division. These players have come from colleges scattered across Maryland, Towson, UMBC. What are some of the other schools? Loyola. Community colleges, local Division I schools from across the state of Maryland. And so these aren't kids that have necessarily played with each other, but we wanted college-age kids to come in, so I really appreciate them being here. Every grid here has a different size. This is the tightest grid. The lengths are all the same. This is 6 yards wide. This is 6.5. That's 7, and that's 7.5. And so basically, this is going to be the most difficult division. So this is the first division. In theory, these are all of my best players. But in this training environment that you're about to see, there is promotion, relegation. Now, in my training environment, we promote and relegate between practices. But because I want you to see promotion, relegation in the same practice, we're going to promote and relegate in this practice so you can watch it. So in the event you want to steal some of these ideas, you'll see it right in front of you. So let me set this up. So why don't you ladies set up over here? The rest of you hang on a second, and we'll start with this group here as I set the template. Because once we begin, it's going to be on my clock. I'm also a huge fan of Raymond Verheyen, the Dutch periodization coach. I think he's the best in the world at what he does in periodization. And basically what we do at UNC is our spring season starts soon, or winter spring season starts soon. This is an environment we're going to start out with at UNC. 30 seconds for each player, and you're going to see what I mean. There are 5 players, so 30 seconds, and then we switch a defender, 30 seconds, etc., until all 5 kids in the 4v1 have played defense. We're going to be assembling a score. The score is going to be based for the attacking players on how often they get the ball from here to the other side. Every time the defender kicks it out of bounds or wins it, the defender gets a point. And then we switch after 30 seconds. So this defender is basically a wrecking ball. Now, there are rules in this that are difficult. And the rules are every player has to play minimum 2 touch. There's no cap on how many times you can touch it, but minimum 2. We want them to pass the ball through their outside players, but the outside players, when they get it, have to be onside. So right now, the 2 outside players are onside. They're inside the grid, and that's fine. We've got what we call a barker and a recorder. One of the people on my staff is barking, whether or not it's a point, whether or not the defender wins it, and then there's a recorder. And the ball's going back and forth. So what's going to happen right now, we'll just watch it for a couple seconds. Go ahead, play. Good, it's 2 touch, yep. Yeah, now defender has 1. Now pull another ball out and go immediately. Yeah, don't play her, she's off. Good, good, good. And now another point for the defender. Grab a ball quickly. So right now, hang on one second. Right now, if I were to critique this, the transition between every lost ball is too long. Now, obviously, because these kids don't know what we're doing, they're going to sort of hesitate a bit. But after a while, what we want is we've got these balls strategically placed, and as soon as the defender kicks one out of bounds, either end player gets the ball and puts it in play. Now, you can't play it to someone who's offsides, but you're allowed to beat the player on the dribble, and that also gets you credibility. But you can't pass from end line to end line. If you beat her, you can pass it, but you can't just play it by her. You have to beat her in order to pass it. With the exception of that, you've got to go through your flank players each time. So now let's watch a bit longer. Here we go. Okay, now that was out of bounds, so there's a line here, and I know you're going to feel like to have space, you've got to drop off. But if you drop off and you're out of bounds, that's her point. And someone should bark it because we're giving you basically points. Every time you kick it out of bounds, every time they kick it out of bounds, every time they're offsides, every time they play 1 touch, you are getting points. And you want to rack up as many points as you can in your 30 seconds. So watch a little bit longer, and then we'll set them free. Play. Good. This is better. Good. But obviously that's out of bounds, and that was also 1 touch. Hold it up. So should we just get the point because it was out? Even under pressure, you still have to play 2. So this is going to train you to be composed under pressure, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, now I'm going to set them free. We're going to go off of, let's see, David Hicks. We're going to go 30 seconds, and we're going to keep score. And we're going to go basically 30 seconds, switch, 30 seconds, switch. The biggest problem is going to be they're going to take too much time in between each pass. When the ball goes out of bounds, they're going to hesitate. No one's going to know where the ball is or who's going to get it, and that's going to take a lot of time. What you want to train your players to do in this session is immediately grab a ball and start playing again, because the philosophy of 10,000 passes is completely undermined if these players take forever to get the ball back in play. And so what you want to try to design is a practice where it goes bang, 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 bang. They are passing the whole time. Now, again, they don't have the experience yet, but maybe if we whip them a bit, and I'll be whipping the first division here, we can get them to play faster and faster and faster and get more and more passes in. All right, it's on Hicks's clock. David, stand here with me so I know when it's over. All right, are you ready? Now, the way we started actually is not on the end line. We started in the middle, so get it over here in the middle. Give her the ball. Now, the reason we started here is obviously we can stuff the defender immediately. So this player here should be throwing a fake this way to get him going there and then get the ball there. So now the defender can't set up by locking it in. So what's critical right now actually is the first pass. So on this first pass, don't let the defender know where it's going. One of the biggest issues, not biggest, but one of the many issues in the women's game is we don't play with enough deception. The way a classical woman beats another woman and she kicks it by her, and with her pace, she blows by her. Now, obviously, as we become more and more evolved in the women's game, deception has to be a part of our platforms. And so this is a tiny little nugget on trying to get our kids to play with some sort of deception as they play. So this is where we start. So are we ready? 30 seconds. Begin. Out of bounds, yep. Quick, quick, quick. Took too long. Quick, 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 quick. Yeah, play it here. This is going to be easier here. Get it down here. Good. Clean it up. Good first touch. Play, play, play. If it's inbound, it's inbound. Keep it in bounds. Play, play, play. Quick, quick, quick. Good. This is better. Good. And rest. All right, agree on the score. So now there's a brief transition as another person defends. And the whole idea in this is you get them going as fast as possible. We have 5 kids in each group. Obviously, we're rotating the defender out. As you get more sophisticated, you're going to discover the girls on the end are the most rested. So those are the ones that should rotate in and defend. The girls on the flank are obviously fatigued. The most fatigued player is which player? The defender. So we want the player fresh that's coming in. All right, 30 seconds again. So let's see if we can be clean, but let's see if we can get the ball in play immediately. Are you ready? Begin. 30 seconds. Here we go. Yeah, you got to be accurate. Play, play, play. Took you too long to get it in play. Play quickly. Good. Supporter. Good clean touch. This is much better. This is much better. Good. No, 1 touch. Point for the defender. It's got to be 2. It's got to be at least 2. Good. Yeah, take her. Finish it. Good. Well done. Well done. All right, better first touch. Good. Let her take her. If she takes her, let her take her. Offsides. Point for the defender. Grab a ball. Here we go. Play, 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 play. Good. And rest. Agree on the score? Again, 30-minute blocks. Now, first week in the spring, 30 seconds in each block. Second week in the spring, 35 seconds in each block. Third week in the spring, 40 seconds. You understand where we're going? By the end of the spring, the defenders are out here about 1:15 seconds. It's absolutely exhausting. But if you use the Verheyen periodization philosophy of getting someone fit gradually, that's what you do. So part of our plan is we start out with these small blocks of 30 seconds of work, and then we expand it out. So have that as something in the back of your mind. All right, here we go. 30 seconds again. Begin. Be clean and be quick. Good. Got to be quicker. You had a chance to play it and you held it. Be clean and be quick. Yeah, don't run away from it. You started to run upfield. Stay. Let her play her feet. Good. Be clean. Be quick. Good stuff. Play, play, play. You can play. Get in bounds. Get in bounds. Be accurate with your touch. Here we go. Good. And offsides. Offsides. Play, 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 play. That was 1 touch. Point for the defender. It's got to be 2. Be clean. Good first touch. Good. Play it through. And rest. And rest. Okay. Obviously, you got to play a bit quicker, right? Ball comes in. You got to play it quickly. We're offsides a lot, so let's see if we can correct that a bit. Okay, is this the third or fourth defender? Third? Okay, so we have two people. The other one in the middle hasn't played yet. All right, the ball has to start in the middle. Has to start in the middle. All right, set it up. Are we ready? Begin. Yeah, be accurate, be accurate. Grab one. All right, we're getting a little quicker. Good. Be clean. And obviously the stuff is hard in here on this surface, but still, let's see if we can be clean. Be clean on the touch. Try to get in bounds. You're out of bounds. You're out of bounds. Play, play. Be clean, be clean. All sides, point for the defender. If the attackers aren't there with you, shield it for a minute until they join you. You're off. And rest. Okay, now, if they're off sides, just get your body between the defender and the ball, right? So if they're both off, just hold her off. I'll even let you use your arm until they get behind you. But you're having a tendency to run way back here. You're out of bounds. Now, obviously, I know what you're doing. You're trying to find space, but that's the line. So if you're closed and they're not there yet, just get them out of the way, and then they'll actually get behind you, and then you can play them and try to get on sides quickly, right? All right, is this the fourth or fifth? The last one? All right, last one, and then we will promote and relegate. Now, the other thing I want to emphasize here, and we haven't talked about it yet because, of course, I'm coaching the offense because right now that's where we're struggling. What we try to teach our kids is to get as close as possible at speed, slow down a little bit, and then step in and bite. Now, obviously, for that to happen, we've got to have a higher attacking level. The surface is not helping these young women, but obviously what we're coaching in here is not just the attack, although that's all I've been coaching because right now that needs the most help. I am coaching a girl to close and then tackle. Close and tackle. Close and tackle. Why? Because we play a high pressing game at the University of North Carolina, and obviously we want to teach our kids to basically close and then step in and bite. All right, last one, then we promote and relegate. So here we go. Begin. Good stuff. Yeah, nice and clean. Be clean. Good first touch. Good. Offsides. Don't play her. She was clearly a yard off. Don't even play her. Get her back further. Play. Good. Shield it if she gets there. Oh, nice deception. Very good. Good. Got to close. You're not closing. Got to close. Close, 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 close. Bite, bite, bite. All right, good effort. Good effort. Good. Nice and quick. If they're not there yet, shield it. She was off, right? So get your body in there. All right, and rest. All right, now the managerial core is going to promote and relegate. This is the first division. So two players that had the worst scores of taking their defensive score and having the attacking score measure against it. Two of those players will go down. Two of these players will be promoted. Two of these players will be relegated. Two of those players are promoted. Two of them will be relegated, and obviously the bottom division, you can't be relegated any further, so two of them will be promoted. So in two of the grids here, there's promotion relegation. In this grid, there's relegation. In the far grid, there's promotion. So let me know, Tori, when they're ready, and then we will promote and relegate. And obviously, and I share this with the girls already, you know, in this environment, it's going to be a little humiliating to be promoted and relegated publicly, but trust me, this is the way it works. All right, so promote and relegate, so here we go. Two people will go up, two people will go down. Now, we don't do this in the same practice, but I'm just showing you this. This would happen in the next practice. And so what every girl is trying to do in my program is to fight their way into the first division. Just like in the EPL, it's the same thing. We're trying to have these teams fight their way up the channel to obviously play in the Champions League. The championship, we're trying to send teams up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they're feeling this pressure. And here's the way it works. I coach the first division. My top assistant coaches the second division. My second assistant coaches the third division. My goalkeeper coach coaches the fourth division. And my volunteer coach coaches the fifth division. So basically, it's all promotion relegation, and they're all aspiring to get to higher and higher levels. All right, we'll start this out again. And then we'll move on a bit because I certainly want to share as much as I can with all of you. So are we ready? 30 seconds again. Begin. Play. One touch. Point for the defense. Well done. But now point for the defense. Kicked it out of bounds. One touch. Point for the defense. Yeah. All right. Point for the defense. Well done. Well done. Play it, play it, play it, play it. Now you could have played it. Either one of you. They're off. Don't play them. Yeah, well, way to get back on. Good, 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 good. All right, nice idea. Well done. Point for the defense. And rest. Last one, then we'll let them take a short break. So set it up again. Are we ready? It's getting better. And so what's happening? Obviously, you're teaching the kids to close and bite, close and tackle, close and defend. We're also teaching them in a tight space to be able to play effectively. Obviously, your instinct is to play out quickly with one touch. We're not allowing that. Why? Because we want this to be an exercise of basically first touch. We want this to be an exercise in defending. So if it's an exercise in defending, that's why we're not letting them escape with one touch, even though in these circumstances, a lot of the time, the one touch is the best attacking option. All right, last time, and then we'll give you guys a short break. Are you ready? Begin. I'd open up. The defender was over there. She was completely unmarked over here. Yes, good. Well done. And the movement's very good. This is good. You're on sides. Be clean. Good. This is good. So much better now. So much better. You're on sides more. Play, play, play. Well done. Be clean. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, good stuff, defense. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Well done. Yep. And rest. First of all, give them a nice round of applause. This is hard work. Okay, girls, if you need a break, get some water. My managerial staff set up for the 5E2s. Okay, let me wander around and see if we've got any questions in here in transition between this exercise and my next one. Throw a hand in the air. If you've got any questions, and we'll address it publicly for you. Yes, sir. And your name, sir? Joe, okay. Say that again. He's asking how the outside players get points. Every player that is on the attack gets the same score. So, end line to end line, it's the same score. In other words, all four get it, even if you weren't involved in it. So all four on the outside get the same score, and it's scored going from one end line to the other. So all four collect the same score. Obviously, the defender has her score, and I'll tell you, as you can sense, the number of passes in this short session is incredible, and the pressure you're under is incredible, and that's the way we calculate it. Now, we give you an extra point if you beat the defender on the dribble as the central player. Because what we want is, a lot of the times, if we're pressing improperly, one of their outside backs will have the ball, and we rush too quickly, and now we can be beaten off the dribble. So a part of the issue in pressing aggressively is a good attacking player seeing you're coming at speed will basically beat you incredibly easily. So we want this defender to be vulnerable to that, and so the way the player's vulnerable to that is we allow an extra point for the attacking player when that happens. Does that make any sense? An excellent question. Yes, sir, and your name? Okay. He's asking, are the winning defenders moving towards the smaller field? No, but that's a legitimate question. And by the way, you can set it up that way if you like. I have no issue with that. We promote and relegate on the final score. So basically the way you as a defender get to be promoted is by making sure during your block, all four players around you are scarred. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's asking me about how the defender can be sort of rewarded. The way the defender's rewarded, let's assume I'm the defender and the four attackers have a -9 while I'm in there. Trust me, I'm getting promoted. When you get promoted, you always move into a smaller field. And here's what's interesting. And I understand what you're saying. It's counterintuitive, but believe it or not, for those of you that were watching right here, this grid improved 100%. Did you notice that? Between the first block and the promoted block. In other words, this was a heck of a lot harder to defend, even though it was a smaller space. Someone tell me why. The quality of the attacker was so good in this grid, it was harder for the defenders, even though the space was smaller. Good job. Does that make any sense? So that's the way we do it. I'll field another couple questions. Let me wander around the room a bit. Anything over here? Because I certainly want to clarify this. I love this environment. I think it has huge value, especially if you teach pressing, but also with the philosophy of 10,000 passes in a practice. And obviously by the end, I think they were getting it pretty well. Any questions from the groups over here that I can field? Yes, sir, right there. Go ahead. Scream it out. Okay, he's asking a very good question. He says, 30 seconds on, what's the scientific rest period? Honestly, you can do whatever you like within the fitness platforms of your team. And I can't really tell you. What we do is we have them play as soon as the scores are recorded. Does that make sense? As soon as the managers are ready, we are going again. So we could just go bang, 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 bang. So we go 30 seconds on. As soon as we can, we're going again. Obviously, this group isn't going again because I'm trying to instruct in between. But 30 seconds on, we get it going as fast as possible as soon as the manager has it recorded. Any other questions over here? These are all excellent questions. Any questions on that side before we get to the next environment? Okay, now we're setting up in a 5v2. Now what's perfect about this 5v2 is they're setting it up the way we would as well. We've got flat cones in the 5v2. In this 5v2, and obviously all of us are doing the 5v2. So what am I trying to get out of mine? Well, in mine, in the 4v1, we played in a two-touch rhythm. In this 5v2, I am restricting it to one touch. Is this my first division? All right, this is my first division. Here are the unique rules in the first division. First of all, I need a server. Who's going to be my server? Come on over here. All right, I stand here in the first division of the 5v2. There is no out of bounds in this. Now, obviously, because of the restricted space, a girl might be smashing into this, so please be careful if the ball's over here. In fact, I'd love a coach to help protect one of my girls. Stand up, any one of you. I want you to stand here because I don't want them colliding into this. Yeah, just one of you. So if someone's coming over, just please protect them from the goal because there's no out of bounds in this. The game starts in the grid, and then they can expand out. Now, in the first division, the rules are a lot stricter. You're allowed to have basically 2 passes outside the grid, but then the next pass has to go in. So basically, once they start possession, they can move outside the grid. There's no problem. But after 2 passes outside the grid, the next one has to somehow get through the grid. It can go over the top, and that counts as going through the grid. Obviously, it can go over an edge, and that counts as going through the grid. But they're allowed 2 passes outside the grid. This is the second division, so we're going to make it a little easier. In the second division, they're allowed 3 passes outside the grid. And in the fourth division, they're allowed 4. So basically, in the fourth division, you know, make your grid as large as possible. And even at our level, in the fourth division, they're going to give the ball away pretty quickly anyway because the technical level, playing one touch is so low. Now, same thing, promotion relegation. So we'll let this go a bit. And so in this, what we'll do is we will let this go for, let's say, 60 seconds. So this will be a 60-second block. And with the same Verheyen philosophy, the next time we get them together, it might be, 65 seconds and then 70, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So one touch. The other thing we insist on is this mantra. And it's basically the defenders are not allowed to interfere with the first 4 passes. While the mantra is going on, give her the ball. All the attacking players are reciting this: rolling, accurate, paced, open. And it's just a review of the principles of possession in the 5v2. Now, one of my assistant coaches said, well, let's skip that because we can get more passes in if we just immediately get into the game. But here's what happens because my kids are so competitive. Because they're so competitive, as soon as they lose possession and the one kid in the middle is now out and another kid on the outside is in, they are stuffing the first couple passes. And trust me, well, the first one's free. No. They figured out a way to stuff the first pass. And so we had to introduce this because they're going in so hard after the first couple passes. We had to set a platform to get passing in that's fundamental without pressure before we can get into the actual game. So what's going to happen is it's rolling, accurate, paced, open. So recite that for me. Try it. Girls on the outside, rolling, accurate, paced, open. And while you're doing it, the first pass is rolling, accurate, paced, open. When they say open, you guys are slapping. And obviously rolling means on the ground. Accurate certainly serves its own definition. Paced is the correct pace. Open is ideally if there's no pressure. I'm getting the ball from here. Play it to me. Basically, I'm going to open up and attack the other side. So rolling, accurate, paced, open were the philosophies of obviously our possessional game. So we're going to go 60 seconds. So rolling, accurate, paced, open. And here's the thing. In the transition, you're going to see the same issue. The biggest problem I see when I watch most people playing their rondo or their 5v2 is this unbelievable hour-and-a-half wait as the players are exchanging positions for the one that made the mistake that's going in the middle and the one that's going out. No, the ball goes immediately. So the coach whacks it in immediately, and we start the possession while the two defenders are sorting it out. And obviously, because we're keeping score, the girls are debating about who's now in the middle. So this rolling, accurate, paced, open, we're solving the problem. And if they are arguing as to who was at fault, the coach just declares, hey, get in the middle, and now it's solved, but the ball's been passed the whole time. So the whole idea is to get the ball in play immediately. So are we ready? Rolling, accurate, paced, open. So go ahead. The mantra, play. Now, 100%, good. One touch, you can leave the grid. And quickly, get him a ball. Took the coach an hour and a half to distribute the ball. Roll it. One touch. Roll it. No out of bounds. Play. Defense, what are you doing? You've all died. Roll it. Please don't shoot it at her. Roll it. It's taking too long in transition. Yeah, try to keep it on the ground. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's all playable. You should be playing the split. Players off the ball, play the split. Good, relax, good. This is better, good. Defense, you're all asleep. Defense, tackle something. Good. You're in for life. You're building condos in there. A little bit more pressure. And rest. Okay, so now same sort of thing. We're going to promote and relegate out of this. So same sort of thing. We're going to relegate two from this group to that group, et cetera. But right now, because we're going to go on to another thing, so Tori, let's relegate once and we'll play one more game. So an idea on the rondo. The idea in this rondo is, again, getting back to Brendan Rodgers' 10,000 passes philosophy. We've just finished our 4v1 in a two-touch rhythm with a maximum number of passes. Now we're in our 5v2, and again, a one-touch rhythm. And what was cool about the grid we just saw is all of a sudden, even within that time frame, it went to a completely different level. So now we're promoting and relegating again in this grid. And so what you want is you want all the top players to try to fight all their teammates to start to move up. And then obviously it's humiliating. If you're an elite player and you've been relegated, obviously there's an indication you could have done a heck of a lot better. But this allows every player on your roster to demonstrate their ability, continue to improve. And it's a graphic improvement because obviously we're seeing it right here. Okay, we'll play one more game. So are we ready? So rolling, accurate, paced, open. So begin. Here we go. No out of bounds. Good. Play one. Coach, yeah, distribute for him. It's taking too long in between. Roll it. Quickly. As soon as someone makes a mistake, you're out and in, etc. Move it. It's taking us too long in between. Roll it now. Roll it. You're in. You gave her the ball. You're in. If you made the mistake, switch and roll it. It's taking you too long. It took you 6 touches to start the session. Yeah, better. And roll one. Here we go. Rolling, accurate, paced, and play. rolling, accurate, pace. Who's in there with him? Don't challenge now. This is free. Rolling. It's one touch. Rolling, accurate, paced. Start over. Rolling, accurate, paced. Open. Good. Now play. Good. Now don't run over there. What's your name? Hey. What's your name? Yeah, she's under pressure here and you're running that way. No, if she's under pressure here, you're there, so she's got an option. Try to be in a position where your teammate that's under pressure has a passing option. Play. Yeah, it's one touch, one touch, one touch, one touch, one touch. And good enough. All right, give him another nice round of applause. This stuff isn't easy, certainly not publicly. And while we set up for the next one, again, let's field some questions. And if you want to go back to the 4v1, that's fine, or the philosophy of the competitive cauldron, anything over here, we're not going to address for anyone. Yes, sir. The question, please. You are promoted and relegated based on your number of passes and how many times you're in the middle. The more times you have a successful pass and the less times you're in the middle permits you to get promoted. Obviously, the absolute elite players never go in the middle. They never go in the middle. I mean, they're going to solve it somehow. They're going to solve it by chipping it over the defender or stepping wide to nutmeg the pressure because their teammates have basically screwed them, you know what I'm saying? But if someone has screwed someone in this, I'll throw the girl that hasn't moved, like the girl right here that didn't move. For the coach that got it right there, that person's in the middle. And then also we have different philosophies. If no one tracks the split, in other words, the split ball goes past everyone, both players on either side of the split come into the middle. So we're training, you know, basically movement off the ball and that sort of thing. Does that answer the question? Okay. And again, we'll do any question for you, the 4v1 stuff or this stuff. And they're promoted and relegated because what we're trying to drive is we're trying to drive basically playing under all kinds of pressure. And believe it or not, the promotion relegation element is another element of pressure. All right, let me tell you what's happening now. Now, based on their performance in the 2 5v2s, or the last 5v2, we have set up a possession game. The girl or man that did best in the 5v2 becomes the playmaker in the 3v3 plus 1. So playing in the 5v2, you have an opportunity to demonstrate that you're such a great player. You can become my playmaker in the 3v3 plus 1. The top player in that 5v2 becomes the playmaker. The next 3 best players in the 5v2 become one team, and the worst 3 players in that 5v2 become the other team. And now, unlimited touch. The grid we use right now is a 20 by 30 grid. And again, the whole idea is we want to keep the numbers as small as possible because what we want is we want the players to get a maximum number of passes in a very short period of time. Again, referencing Verheyen, these games will start at maybe a minute or so, and then by the end of the spring, we're adding on 5 seconds or so. They could go up to 2 or 3 minutes, and it's an exhausting possessional game, as you guys can imagine. And now we have 2 points of emphasis in this. First of all, there's no touch restriction. First game, 2 touch. Second game, 1 touch. This, unlimited. And here's what we want to see. What we want to see is we want to see the players trying to combine at every opportunity. If they don't have a chance to combine and they're under pressure, we want them shielding it at every opportunity. And basically, we just don't want them giving the ball away. They can play 1 touch, they can play 2, they can dribble the player. If they're completely without pressure, let's get a ball down here. We'll set this up. Give me a ball. Here comes a ball. Okay. All right, let's assume this player here has the ball and he's under absolutely no pressure. He's going to initiate the combinational play by driving at someone. So when he drives at this player here, drive at her, she's going to, expose herself so they can get a combination. So whenever you've got a lot of time and space, we want to try to drive at these players. Because now what we're recording is certainly your ability to keep possession, but we also have a ranking in the matrix of the number of times you've created a combinational play. We call it wall 1, wall 2. Wall 1 is the player dribbling. Wall 2 is the other player. Of course, call it anything you like. But we're going to give him credit. We're going to give her credit if it's successful. Now, obviously, because everyone knows they're doing this, they might try to close it off. So if they close it off, you don't play it back to them because your function is to keep possession. You go someplace else. So now it's basically freewheeling possession, unlimited touch, in 20 by 30 space. This time we'll give them a minute and a half, David, to let them play this. And now what I want my managers to record are combinations. Wall 1, wall 2, obviously number of passes, but also every time a player gave a ball away when they should have shielded it. So we want shielding to be a part of this. So when you expose the ball and get stripped, basically that's a negative in the shielding column. Obviously, if you're successful, you get a successful shield. So now keep the ball at all costs. So again, I'll work with the first division over here. And let's see if we can get this thing going. So let's go a minute and a half. So are you ready? Begin. So here we go. Yeah, let's keep it. All right, right now you're kind of tight. Let's spread the field out a bit. Spread it out. This is better. Defensive pressure is too slow. We're not closing. And then we're definitely not biting. That's it. Play it. Good. Nice composure. Good. Good. But move. You had a combinational option there. And move. Okay, we had a combinational option there, and you played it and stood. Well done, coach. Knock and move. Okay, set it up. You could have set it up. All right, what I mean by you could have set it up, if you're under no pressure, drive at someone, create the combination. But also, once you play it, move. Good. All right, wasn't on. Good decision not to play her. Here we go. Look to combine. Yep, you got to set up the combination, though. You got to drive at her. Yep, but you got to move. Got to move immediately. You moved after you, long after you played it. Okay, hold it. You got time. Combine. Aye. Look for the combination at every chance. Shield it, and rest. Okay, I'm going to coach this group right here. So what I'm looking for, I'm going to bring them in. You're going to hear the conversation. So come on in. Let's see if we can make this better. David, let's give them actually a minute off. So tell me when that's up. Okay. You've kept it each time, but every time you've played it, you haven't moved. So the whole idea is for you, once you do play it, well, look for the combination. And then, yeah, we spread out when we get it, but then when we're spread out in that form, it's not just about playing it into each other. We are looking for combinations. So if you're standing way out here and you've got an hour and a half, what do I want you to do? Yeah, how do we look for a combination?
Give her an angle?
No, you've got the ball. How do you look for a combination? You've got all day here in the corner. Yes, you drive at a defender. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then that's the way we combine. Does that make sense? And then obviously we spread the thing out again. And then once we do set it up and we have this opportunity, we have to play it. But what happens right after we play it if we're looking for a combination? Yeah, you got to sprint, not just move off. It's a sprint following that. Then the second wall, you got to make a decision on whether that person's on. Does that make sense? So you think we can get to another level? All right, well, here we go. Let's set it up. All right, here we go. David, where are we? Yeah, let's go another minute and a half. Let's see if we can get some more combinations in this game right here. Are we ready? Begin. Help her. She's under pressure. Shield it. Don't show it. Yeah, good. All right. Yeah, good. Way to try to initiate. All right. Someone's got to show for him as he drives. Shield it. All right. Try to set the wall. He's driving at her. Try to set the wall for him. Yeah, almost. Now, she's got to give you a better angle, but you knocked it and moved. At least that's something. I wasn't on. Good decision. You've got time. Drive, and go. All right, you're thinking. I like it. Good. All right, good. We should be able to fry here. Why play her in the crowd when there are 3 people around her? Why not drive and then combine around her? Yes, finally a combination. Well done. And you should have moved again. You had another one. Got to be quicker. Grab a ball and play. Nothing's on. Where are we? Again, we've clogged it a bit. Solve it. No, shield it. Don't show it. Yeah, good. You actually had a combination right there. Yes, but quicker, then move. You got to move immediately. You still hesitate right after you pass it. Move immediately. Yeah, good. We'll count that, even though it was a meg. Way to bust your butt. Good. And good enough. Good stuff. Give them a round of applause. Okay, get some water. We'll field questions here. And then Tori, let's set up the grids here. Let's have one here. And I'll move down here a bit for this group. One here, because obviously this thing's going to be in the way. So let's set up the far grid here, and we'll move it that way. Okay. So again, let me chase around the room. We'll field some questions before we set up the final exercise. And we can chase any of your questions, certainly on the cauldron, but also certainly on the exercise that we've selected. And you can select anything to do. Obviously, what I emphasize might be different than what you emphasize, but the whole idea is maximum passes. Obviously, looking for combinations, looking for the decision on whether to combine or to keep it. And so these are the ideas that we tried to get across in our 3v3 plus 2. This is also a pregame warm-up for us, as is the 4v1. Yes, sir. You have to scream it out. If someone's what? Someone's absent. He's asking if someone is absent, do they go to the bottom? No. They just stay exactly where they are. If an injured player comes back, basically the same spot the injured player left. So, yeah, we don't, if someone misses a day or two or is injured, yeah, we don't relegate them to the bottom. No, they would come right back in where they left. Yeah, then you obviously promote the one that was right underneath to take the spot. Because everyone is ranked in the cauldron. So it's not like the first division doesn't have a ranking. No, the first division is ranked. Let's assume in the 4v1, there are 5 kids in the first division. They are ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know where everyone is in each aspect of the cauldron. Excellent question. Any other questions on this? Yes, sir. So, yeah, scream it out. Scream it out. I heard the word you. I got to hear a couple more words than that. She's asking if I run the drill aggressively the way I'm doing it now. This is actually passive for me. I'm trying to be kind to the players since I don't know them, and I don't want to scar them for life. This is good. This is a translation. Is she English or something? She's English. No wonder I didn't understand her. So some American translate for me? Oh, is this my progression? 4v1, 5v2, 3v3 plus 1? Is that what you're asking? Yeah, he's asking about if this is the progression I always use. Well, this is the progression I'm using now. You don't have to do this, because if you want to take it logically, what would you start with? 1 touch, then 2 touch, then unlimited. So yeah, we could shift it around. But the reason we started this way is one of the foundations for our success is pressing. So when do I want my players to have maximum energy in the session? I want them to have maximum energy in the tackling session. So this is right after the warm-up, the 4v1. And then, believe it or not, obviously out here, because these are players that aren't familiar with our training environments, I'm coaching the offense. Because unless I coach the offense, the defense was dominating the grid that I was watching. Actually, in the second 4v1, after promotion, then the offense started to crank up. But the thing I am coaching mostly in the 4v1 eventually, after the offense catches up is I'm coaching the kids to close and bite. Because here's the problem. A kid, stand up. A kid runs up to the player with the ball. They run to here and they stop. This is the perfect distance to be absolutely useless. It's the perfect distance. If you want to be absolutely useless, run over here. And by the way, your mom and dad think you're great, but you're absolutely frigging useless. So what you want to do is, yeah, you got to start to slow down here, otherwise you're going to get carved. But once you get to here, you got to slow down a bit, but you have to keep closing, and eventually you have to bite. Thank you. So the biggest problem is the distance when they decide to stop closing, and it's a huge issue for girls that don't defend. They stand in an area where they're just absolutely useless, and we don't want them to be useless. We want them to keep closing, and then eventually bite. Does that make any sense? Great questions. Any other questions? Yes, sir. He's asking, how do girls that are repeatedly at the bottom respond? In what respect? You mean, are they suicidal? He's asking, do they respond negatively? Do they get worse? Well, after you're in the bottom division, it's tough to get any worse. Actually, I haven't polled them. I guess the way I would look at this positively is the next division is within reach. You know what I'm saying? In other words, the first division might not be within reach if you're in the bottom division, but the division above you is within reach based on one performance in one practice in your life. So, I guess there's hope for them in one session in their entire lives to have a blinder and make it up into the higher division. And hopefully they're clinging on to that hope. Yes, sir. He's asking, do I base my starting 11 on this? No. But those of you that, were you at yesterday's session? Okay. The competitive cauldron almost always reflects my starting unit. These are all elements within the competitive cauldron. This reflects which of my players are good in possession and which players are bad. The 4v1 reflects who are my great defenders that can also keep the ball. So these all reflect different qualities, but this collectively reflects the kids that are basically best in possession. Does that make any sense? So that's what it reflects. But no, I've had kids in the first division that don't start for me. Right. And I've had kids in the, well, let me mention this. Jessie Scarpa is one of my best players right now. She came off an ACL tear, and one of the biggest issues coming off your ACL tear, you're so afraid to stop suddenly. And so in the 4v1, she started in the 5th division because of her ACL issue, she would run up to someone and she would slow down so gradually, she's just afraid of breaking because of the fear of re-tearing her ACL. So she started out in the 5th division and very gradually worked her way up. And her freshman year, she actually played left back for me and a little bit of center back, but she wasn't a very good tackler. Now she's my center forward. She's an outstanding tackler. And she has climbed the divisions ever since coming off her ACL tear. So this has sort of helped her correct that. Okay, we'll set up this final thing here. And let's see if the grids are set up properly. They sort of look good. Tori, what's the size of this one? 12 by 15? Oh, yeah, we got some structural issues here. Okay, here's what we're going to try. We're going to try to play this in here. The girls love this game. Obviously, I am in an unbelievably enviable position. I've got these kids playing all over the world for fabulous coaches. One of my favorite coaches at Seattle Reign, Laura Harvey. She's an absolutely fantastic coach. Those of you that aren't into the women's game, I promise you will be if you watch her teams play. They're fabulous. One of my kids plays for her. Kendall Fletcher loves playing for the Reign, and this fantastic coach. And so whenever my kids come back into Chapel Hill, I'm always picking their brain, stealing ideas on, what they got from their coaches. And this is one of Kendall's favorite environments. So we're going to finish up today with this session. Here's the way it's going to work. Tori's going to play the ball into one of these grids. You guys have unlimited touch. You can do anything you like. But basically, what you've got to do is you've got to get 5 passes together. And after those 5 passes, you've got to ping the ball into the other grid in the air. You get my drift? Now, when she passes the ball there, 2 of you guys go into that grid to pressure. If you guys win it, play it back into this grid for your teammates. Once you play it back into your teammates, your team is now in that grid waiting to attack, and then Tori will play a ball into the other grid. 2 of those players have to get into that grid to defend. Do you understand what I'm saying? So basically, you're trying to get 5 passes in a row in your grid and then ping it in the air to the other grid. Now, what I love about this game, and the thing that Kendall likes about it, is one of the greatest things about watching the great teams play is watching them play with composure. So, yes, if you can keep it long enough, there's no touch restriction, we got to have enough composure to send a ball over the top. Now, if it doesn't go over the top and it's short, and by the way, when they have it over there, you guys can all line up right here to take away the first part of their grid. So the ball has to go over you into the deep part of the grid, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let's assume they try to play it into that grid and they kick it out of bounds. Then they are defending. You guys are basically set free, and they have to send 2 into that grid. And trust me, while the 2 are trying to get into that grid, they're going to try to get their 5 passes in as quickly as possible and then ping it. Do you get it? And the score is kept based on how many times your team successfully plays it into the other grid. Does that make sense? So, Tori, you got the game? Okay. And so, again, something we stole from Kendall and her team, the Seattle Reign. So, here we go. Let's play. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. You've won it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, won it. Yep. 1. Get it done. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get it to the other grid whenever you think you can. Well, you just kicked it through the grid, so unfortunately you guys are defending now. I'll kill him, just relax. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Good. You're in. Good. 2. All right. Other grid. Red's defending. 1, 2. Composure. Relax. You've got numbers in there. Relax. Good. Good composure. Ah, bummer. Here we go. You're defending, yellow. You're defending. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, now get it out there whenever you can, whenever you got time. Yes, well done. 1, 2. 3. 4. Yep, get it over if you can, whenever you can. No rush, be patient. Yes, good. Way to clean it up. It's off yellow. It's off yellow. It's off yellow. Should have played it back into that grid. Yeah, since they were already there. 2, 3, 4. You served it too early. Bummer. So red's defending now. Red, you're defending. You got to serve it after 5. And 5. Good. Good. Clean it up. Girls, organize the grid. You guys can't sit in a clump. Got to spread out and get ready to receive the ball. 3. No, you served it too early. Yellow's defending. 2, 3. Oh, nice deception. Well done. 4. Oh, we'll give it to you. We'll say that's 5. Play. Oh, bummer. Red's defending. Here we go. 1, 2. Well done. 3. Ah, bummer. Here we go. 2. Shield it. Yeah, good. Yeah, but keep it. Good. Solve it. Oh, nice feet. Well done. 3. All right, yellow's defending. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whenever you like. Yeah, nicely done. This is good composure. Good. Yeah, be patient. Well done. Good. Yes. Well done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Girls, you're improving before our eyes. This is so much better already. Well done. Yeah, Pink, that's you. Pink is defending. Play it anywhere. 1, 2, 3. Well done. 4, 5. Yeah, way to protect it. Well done. Start over. All right. Red, you're defending. 1, 2. Way to solve it. Good. 3, 4, 5. All right. Yellow, you're defending. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, nice composure. Yeah, keep it. Well done, girls. Well done. Yeah, we'll let you do that. Go ahead. We'll let you cheat once. Oh, perfect ball. Well done. Way to gain possession off a difficult ball in the air. Well done. Yes. Nice skill. Clean it up. Good, girls. Good. Nice deception. Very good. Whenever you like, you can go. Yes, excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4. And good enough. Give them a nice round of applause. Good stuff, girls.